What the hell happened in match week 2021 of Premier League? Remember, guys, this 2024-2025 season, and we are in 2025, and we are just on the 21st game of the Premier League. And I'm really excited over what we are watching. I'm really excited over how the Premier League always finds a way to be above all other leagues in terms of expressing themselves, in which you see smaller teams coming up and showing excitement over how they do their job, seeing bigger teams having their head cracking, playing with smaller teams, seeing teams that people don't really give so much respect, rising out of nothing and performing like they're the best teams you've ever seen. That's what the Premier League offers you every single week. And in the midweek, it never really disappointed. So we're going to talk about all the games that happened and what the hell happened in week 2021 of the Premier League. And I'm just excited. So it was game week 21. Let me remind you of the scores if you have forgotten. Chelsea were hosting Bournemouth. The game finished 2-2. West Ham were actually playing against Fulham in a game which was a manager bounce for West Ham. They won by 3-2. We saw Brentford play against Man City in a game which was comfortable for City until to the end. It finished 2-2 against the two teams. We saw Nottingham Forest score early and the shattered shop for Liverpool, but Liverpool out of the first touch that we will ever see, the best substitutions we will ever see in the football history, came in and it finished 1-1. Then we also saw Newcastle play against Wolves. By the way, on the 1-1 of Liverpool, a Wolves goalkeeper, a Nottingham Forest goalkeeper masterclass we'll ever see. Newcastle continuing with one of their best performance, winning run in a row now, beating Wolves by 3-0. We saw Aston Villa went to the Goodison Park, left there with 3 points. Aston Villa won, Everton 0. Then Leicester City played against Crystal Palace in a game which Crystal Palace came of age and performed like they are the champions we expect them to be, winning by 2-0. Arsenal shattered shop to Tottenham Hotspurs, but also released the monster in Gabriel, winning the game by 2-1. Then Ipswich home tried by all means to perform well at home, but yet still destroyed by Bournemouth, finished 2-2. Bournemouth 0 to Ipswich. United, one of the worst performances under Almiron, special of the recent weeks, destroyed in terms of the games. I feel like they were overplayed against Southampton, but yet left with 3 goals and a hat-trick hero, Ahmad, runs the show. Let's get into the week because we saw some amazing games, people. It was really exciting. Let's start with the first game. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. This was supposed to be a game which was supposed to be easy for Chelsea because they started well. They scored an amazing goal. Kopama scored, and I'm like, okay, there's something that they can build up to. They go into the game, and the game just changed where Bournemouth came back to the game and scored 2. It was 2-1 at some point. Semedo scoring that goal. What happened is this: Bournemouth were actually missing so many key players. They could have beaten this Chelsea team, but we saw the captain of Chelsea coming back from a long-term injury, comes in, scores an amazing free kick. Reece James gives a draw to Chelsea. They can move on from this. But there is now a growing concern when it comes to Chelsea because these are now 15 points, which they've only managed to collect 3. And that is not any, in terms of a form of a team that is trying to be in the top 4. Remember, they told us they're not in the title race, but trying to be in the top 4. There should be questions asked about that one. Then we saw West Ham playing against Fulham in Graham Potter's first Premier League games at West Ham, and I think he delivered. They delivered so well. They caused chaos, and that was really important. They caused chaos to Wolves. They exposed Wolves. They won the game by 3-2. At some point, it was 2-0. That tells you that there is something that they're building to. Then we saw Brentford play against Manchester City in a game where the Citizen really struggled to ever start. The first half, I think it finished 0-0. Then in the second half, Pep Guardiola had some tweak and Phil Foden came of age, scored the 2 goals abreast. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be an easy game for City as it has been coming. They played well. They are starting to win games. They can win this game. But Brentford had another mind, and it ended with the Wisa last goal, in which the game now ended 2-2. Then Liverpool went to Forest, and Forest just, they believed it, they knew that they were going to cause chaos. Liverpool came into this game without winning a game, with winning one game in their last 4 games, and Brentford, Nottingham Forest on the other side, they had won all their last games. And I have to say, it was a challenging game, really, for Liverpool, in terms of how they just could not find a way to get over the defensive line of Nottingham Forest. But on the other side, Chris Wood, first chance, first creation, first goal. Alisson needs to take full credit and the blame of what happened in that situation. But the game continued. It opened up. The game actually started playing well. Then Liverpool tried everything they could. They just could not break this Nottingham Forest down. And Nottingham Forest were comfortable sitting back and hitting Liverpool on the counter-attack. They did it so many times. They could have scored so many goals. But as the game continued, Liverpool brought on Tsimikas and Jota, and their first touches of the game was an assist and a goal. A Tsimikas cross and a Jota goal, and I thought the game was going to be something. Liverpool came into the game, started playing so well. Konate was taken off. We saw Gravenberch playing next to Virgil van Dijk as a defender, helping out. It was like an inverted defender, playing so well, helping up, going forward. But at the end of the day, game finished 1-1 because of Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. He was one of the best goalkeepers in this week, and I think it makes sense why he has more clean sheets, and maybe why he could win the golden glove at the end of the season. We'll see. They are number 3 after Arsenal's defeat, but they were number 2 at the game, and they did so well. They played so well. Then we saw Nottingham Forest play against Newcastle. Wolves, played against Newcastle. They did so well. They tried, by all means, really, to be honest. They gave it their all. But sometimes you have to accept when class is just on another level. Newcastle are on fire. And I think when Isak scored the second goal, and Gordon scored the third, it was over before they even noticed. Wolves tried to fight it, but they just could not break down this Newcastle team. They are on form. In fact, I have to say, in terms of midfield, I think Newcastle are the best midfield team in the Premier League, as well as strike force. So in other words, I think they're the best balanced team right now in the Premier League, because that defense does know how to do a job. That strike force scores goals. That midfield destroy and attacks and creates things. So I think they're the best team right now in terms of being balanced in the Premier League. Then Everton had their first game under the new manager, Eddie Howe. And no, what's his name? That's not Eddie Howe. What's his name? I forgot his name. Please remind me his name. The former Everton boss. No, the former Everton boss as well as West Ham boss. They played well, but Aston Villa just did another story for the game, and they finished 1-0. The problem with Everton, they can defend. They can make the games boring. They can really get away with chances, but they just cannot create something going top. And that's where their problem has been this season. And hence why they won the game. Leicester City played against Crystal Palace in a game which, of course, we thought maybe Ruud would rise, because Crystal Palace have been struggling and not been performing well. Yet, Crystal Palace showed something new that Leicester were not really did not know was going to come, and they won the game by 2-0. Arsenal played Tottenham Hotspur in a game that, of course, was expected. It was the biggest game. Arsenal played for what they know best, which is set pieces, and Tottenham Hotspur did what they know best, and that's being Spursy. Bottled everything. The keeper had one of the worst head losses he has ever had. Allowed one of the easiest goals, but one of the best strike from Trossard, which is interesting. Best strike from Trossard. Weirdest touch from the goalkeeper. And the goal was in. But we have to give some respect in terms of how the game was approached, how the team played, and how the game finished. And I think it was a well-deserved win for us now, because Tottenham had nothing to offer. They tried to defend for a change under Postecoglou, which just practically cancelled what they can create going forward. And that was the game. Then Ipswich, when we were hosting Bournemouth, we were hosting Brighton. The game went according to their plan. They tried to do something, but at the end of the day, Brighton were the best team in the game, and that's why they won by 2-0. United struggled today. They suffered in the game against what we call this team, against Southampton. Southampton actually looked like they were gonna collect their first 3 points away from home, and yet Ahmad had another story. Ahmad had another mission. Ahmad delivered for United. The game finished 3-0, a hat-trick hero. Special shout out goes to people like Joshua Zirkzee. I felt like he came in and he really calmed the ship, controlled the game, and he helped the team to go forward. Also, we can say Bruno Fernandes. He has been on fire since that Liverpool game, and he's still being very, very lethal with whatever he does. Christian Eriksen was well. Onana kept United in the game. He kept them in the game. Then lastly, the hat-trick hero himself, Ahmad, because he did so well to get the job done. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect, and that's exactly what happened in week 21 of the Premier League. Let's see what happens during the week build-up is coming. Be ready for that. Like the vid, subscribe. I'll see you on another one. We are out. This has been Football Connect. We're peace.